obviously, our spiritual dilemma arises from what do we do about life being impermanent? Sometimes when you're sitting in meditation, that impermanence feels like it's not moving fast enough. When is the bell going to ring? When are they going to end this meditation session? Sometimes it feels like it's moving too fast. Like personally, as a parent, it often feels like time is moving way too fast, right? And it's interesting because sometimes I would say there's two basic responses to the truth of change or impermanence. The first is we can obsess on it, almost like obsessive thinking, or it can really, really get us down. Like we get stuck in the truth that everything is moving by so fast. I was recently having a conversation with a friend who was talking about this phenomenon called the Sunday scaries. Sunday scaries is the idea that you work maybe Monday to Friday, typical 5-day work week, and then you have your weekend, and then Saturday goes okay. But as soon as Sunday morning hits, you go, oh my gosh, the weekend is almost over. Even though you have the whole day of Sunday left, right? You have that whole day to explore, to enjoy yourself, to be present. Still, the Sunday scaries is the idea that you're so fixated on the fact that even though it's Sunday morning, it's actually almost Monday. The weekend is almost over. It's slipping through my hands so quickly, right? And you can't even enjoy Sunday. Can't even enjoy the second half of your weekend because we're so caught up in a very fearful way in the truth of impermanence. The other reaction I think we often have to impermanence is the more ignorant reaction. What I mean by that is it catches us by surprise, and it catches us when we least expect it. We've all had somebody in our lives pass away. Maybe it felt too soon. Maybe it felt very sudden, right? We've all lost relationships very quickly and didn't know that this situation was in some sort of doubt, right? We've all maybe lost objects that were dear to us, and all of a sudden you go, oh, I didn't even know I cared that much, right, about that, And all of a sudden impermanence sneaks up on you. It's like the other day I was at the barber, and when you watch them cutting the hair that is falling on the apron, the smock that they have you wear at the barber, and you go, wow, there's a lot more gray in there than I thought. On my head on the video screen might not look, but against the dark smock, I was like, wow, a lot more gray hair, and it hits you. Wow, death is coming, right? I'm aging, right? And you may be further along in that process than I am, or you may be less far along in that process than I am. But all of it is happening, right? We are somewhere in that process. The mark of our existence is impermanence. And there's no escape from that. There's no way around that. It is the nature of existence. It is the nature of human existence. It is the fact of life and life's experiences that we often have an unhealthy relationship to. We're either so obsessed with it that we get the Sunday scaries or the whatever day it is scaries, and we can't be present with the beauty of that moment. And I've certainly had that experience. Or we just forget all about it, and all of a sudden it takes us by surprise, and we go, holy moly, I lost time. I lost opportunity. There's one of my favorite chants in the Buddhist tradition is done in the Soto and some Rinzai Zen traditions of Japan that have come to the West in the last century. And the chant goes, "Let me respectfully remind you," it's chanted at the end of a day's practice, "life and death are of supreme importance. Time swiftly passes by and opportunity is lost. Let me respectfully remind you, time swiftly passes by and opportunity is lost. And then it says, each of us should strive to awaken. Take heed, do not squander your life. So there's a real reminder to turn this fact of life, that all is impermanent, into a kind of urgency to see what life and what our minds and what our beings are, right? To actually seize the opportunity rather than to either be ignorant of impermanence or fearfully obsessed with it, and say, we can use this.